Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bold Metal Nerd coming at you with another video, and I thought I would do another discography now. The reason it's been so long since I've done any album reviews is, well, all the album reviews I've done so far have landed with a tremendous thud of nothing onto the internet. They've had very low views, I think less than 10 overall, though I am going to try a new strategy and put the album cover for the album, on, see if that drives views on these videos. Who knows, maybe I'll get lucky, maybe it will, maybe it won't, whatever. But anyway, the band that I want to talk about now is the second metal band that I got into. Well, I'm sorry, not the second metal band. The second band I got into after Metallica. And I'm sure you guys will just never ever guess who. Yeah, I know it's in the title, but boy, who would be the next logical band after Metallica? Oh. Who's closely related to Metallica, had a former member found. Oh, yeah, Megadeth. So I'm going to start off by reviewing, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. Came out in '85. Now after I discovered Metallica, I knew I had to seek out more, real heavy metal. And Megadeth, just happened to be the band that I looked into. Not exactly surprising. Now, I honestly don't remember what my first Megadeth album was, but what I do remember is instantly loving the band, just like I did Metallica. As soon as I heard them, I was like, these guys are fucking awesome. And of course, after Megadeth, I moved on to, the whole wide world of metal. To be honest, I don't remember who my third and fourth metal bands are, any of that. I just remember Metallica was, the first one that I really got into, and Megadeth was the second after that. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, now when I first got into Megadeth, I had no idea who Dave Mustaine was. I had no idea he had been in Metallica. That was a completely, unknown thing to me. Dave Mustaine was just whatever. Now I bought this album, Killing Is My Business, for the first time on cassette, and I bought it when I was a teenager. Hell, I might have been in line, or it might have been right before I went to a concert, actually, because I remember going to a record store near a venue and getting this on cassette. It wasn't a Megadeth concert. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Overkill or again, I'm not. This is a long time ago. It's blurry, so I apologize, guys. But anyway, it had the original. I didn't have the remaster, but I'm going to get into the differences between the remaster and the original here in a minute. It was the original one. It had the real cheesy cover art on it, the bad sound, all that fun stuff. And the band logo looked different from, all of their other latter albums. Now, I almost wish I still had that cassette, just for the artwork and liner notes, I apologize. The glare in this video is about to get a lot worse. It's hard for me to look at my notes and, look away from the camera. So I apologize for that. But anyway, now when this album came out in '85, it took the metal world by storm, and it really kickstarted their career. Basically, it was an even faster and more aggressive version of what Metallica was doing. Now, you could tell Mustaine had something to prove on this album, and it's a masterpiece. Let's go ahead and get into the songs. The first song is Last Rites / Love to Death. It's got a great piano intro, followed up by a very ripping thrash number. Track 2 is Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. It's an extremely good song with a great combination of slow and fast parts mixing together. Following up that, you got The Skull Beneath the Skin, which is a great pummeling heavy song. After that, you got Rattlehead. Man, talk about a great thrash number. It's definitely the most anthemic song on the album. Chosen Ones, very fast thrash number. Looking Down the Cross, it's an excellent pummeling heavy song. Then after that, you got the Megadeth, which of course, this is the most infamous song on here, since Metallica reworked the song into the Four Horsemen. But Mustaine wrote this along with a good amount of other early Metallica work, which of course led Mustaine to mouth off one of countless times in an interview. He said, "Boy, I wonder what Metallica's going to do. I'm sorry. Well, I wonder what Metallica's going to do when they run out of my riffs." And he said a lot of other shit, but that's one of the quotes he's made. Now on here, it's greatly sped up, and the vocals are entirely different. It's a good song, but honestly, I think the Metallica version is better of the two. And then lastly, there's These Boots. It's a hilarious cover version of a Nancy Sinatra song. Dave changes the lyrics to offensive jokes to great comedic effect. The funny part about the song is Nancy kept collecting royalties for the song for nearly 20 years. But when Dave released the remastered version, whoever's in charge of her songs insisted he change the offensive lyrics. So on the remastered, 90% of the song is bleeped out, which is kind of amusing, but also kind of irritating. I would recommend tracking down the original on the internet, as it's real easy to find. Now, listening to this album, you can feel the anger spewing out of Mustaine after being kicked out of Metallica. It's an absolutely crushing album. It's an absolute must-have for any Megadeth fan. Hell, I'd say it's a must-have for any metal fan at all. When Mustaine started Megadeth, he wanted to destroy Metallica. And with this album, he takes a really good shot at doing just that. For me, it ranks a 90 out of 100. For me, the only flaw being Mustaine's vocal performance was a bit subpar in this album in parts, but the musicianship and songwriting are so excellent on this album that it doesn't really matter. This is the only classic Megadeth album where I highly recommend the remaster over the original. As the original suffers from very poor production, as the band spent half of the production money on drugs. And yeah, it shows on the original. Get the remix and remaster. Skip the original. As for the rest of the album, I'd say, the rest of their classic albums, it's a personal preference. The remasters sound much different, but you can get used to them without too much effort. But they're not really, I don't know how much better they are. They're just different more than anything else. Next up, I'll be talking about the album that shot Megadeth out of the metal fringes and brought them a ton of attention. Of course, I am talking about Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? Stay tuned.